Hey folks, how you doing? It is Clay Francisco again today. It is like a beautiful March day out. I think it's like March 5th when I'm recording this, and I cannot believe how sunny it is, especially after the crazy snow that we've had here in Washington. But nobody cares about the weather. You all are here for a writer's update. Yeah, anyway, oh my gosh, endings. Oh my gosh, endings. That's the video. That's my problem. I've been going through, if you've been paying any attention, if you've been listening to my video series at all or watching these puppies, I've had a couple of iterations of trying to get a writing process solidified, right? I got some fun little note cards, some, just the regular notepads. I've tried a couple of other versions, like the snowflake method, because I'm a plotter, right? And I really like to get all that stuff just compartmentalized and done. I get my ducks in a row and then I write them. But that is my problem, is I get up to about the end point, right? And I'm like, yeah, this ending works. But as I'm writing it, I don't like it. And that's been my main problem here, is that I keep looking, or rather I'm looking at the details of my story saying, I don't like these anymore, right? I don't, and for some reason, somehow, and I think what the issue is, but I think I know what the issue is, but the problem is that I don't like writing the ends, because I think I'm just a little too particular about what I should and shouldn't be putting in there. I want my endings to be these epic, awesome, twist reveals, or some kind of just really, gut-wrenching this, that, and the other, or some kind of, like a real just powerful ending. And those are hard to come by. I'm going through the Codex Alera books right now, and 3 of those books have just ended. The conflict ends and the book ends, and that's all there is to it. It's just the end of the story. And when the story is done being told, you just stop telling it. And then you start the next book. I have a problem with that, apparently. It almost seems like I don't like finishing things, right? Where it's like, I don't want to finish this. It has to keep going. This isn't the end. How do I... And that's my problem, is I am somehow stuck in this isn't the end of my story. This isn't the end of the tale, as it were. And so I have a hard time wrapping it up. I do just continue writing. And then the problem becomes, I don't think where the book should end is epic enough, has a big enough feather stuck in the hat of it, right? The period's not dark enough. That's kind of weird. Or maybe it's not. Maybe some of you guys can like and comment down below and let me know if anybody else feels this way, that they have to have an epic ending, that it can't just simply be the resolution to the storyline. And that's where I'm feeling it, right? Where I'm feeling like, and I guess that's a good way to put it, that the simple resolution to the plot points of the storyline isn't a good enough ending for my stories. That's where I'm at. And that's what I have to combat right now as an indie author, as somebody who is in control of everything, right? And has nobody to blame for failure but themselves. And this is my failure point, I believe. I genuinely believe it is around, maybe I don't have it, completely nailed down, the bullseye Robin Hood style. But I'm in the ballpark, right? The problem centers around, I'm a continuer. I know the story continues, and somehow the standard end of that conflict, or that bad guy, being killed, or that crisis being avoided, doesn't feel like an endpoint, isn't epic enough, isn't a true ending. And then that makes me wonder, what is a true ending? Right? When do you ever feel like, a story is done enough. And unless you kill off the main character, I can't think of an example where people don't, where you know, the reader doesn't want to go back and say, I could do more of that. And I guess that's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know. But it's a thing where unless you kill off the character, right? And I'm thinking about this from an author and as a reader, right? Reader and writer, both sides of my head are having a hard time with this because the Drizzt, just the Dark Elf books, R.A. Salvatore, right? None of those books have great endings to the book, right? I mean, the end of the first series, the Underdark ones, oh my gosh, I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the end of the first series, all he does is walk outside. Literally leaving it open for a whole new series. And I have to remember that the end of those books, those 3 books, the end of all that resolution is a new beginning. And you can leave it there. And you can just say no. And off into the imagination world the character goes. And I need to learn some of that. I need to do some like end research, because I've been doing a lot of research on structure, a lot of research on, you know, the 12 plot, you know, the Vogler's versions of the hero myth, right? All kinds of stuff, just all kinds. Orson Scott Card's version, you know, and whatever you think about him on a personal, you know, religious level, I really like what he's got for like writing characters and stuff like that. I think he actually, some of the stuff he has is really interesting, but that's an aside. Stephen King's book on writing, or I can't remember, but anyway, so I've been doing a lot about structure and not so much about resolution. And so I think that's going to be my next foray into the craft, right? Is going to be story resolution, because I think I've got the structure thing down. The more I look at these articles, the more I'm reading, the more I'm putting into my head, the more I feel like I am now at a point where I could start writing this stuff and I could start contributing to the information conglomerate that the hive mind has online. Yeah, I think I'm getting there as far as like the overall structure goes. And so now I've got to go and find some of those plot backwards theories, I think. And I think that is where I need to go from, is what resolution do I want to leave them with? Not for the series, right? Which is where I get hung up, right? I'm like, what do I want to leave for the end of this 9-book, 6-book, 3-book, you know, something big. And that's not what I need to be thinking about. I need to be thinking, what's that feeling that's going to get that reader to read the next book, right? That kind of cliffhangeriness where, you know, the way the Drizzt novel, the first series, you know, where he just walks out of the Underdark. It's a cliffhanger, but it's not, right? Everything before that gets resolved, and then they give you a nice little tidbit to dangle in the front, or to dangle into the next series that doesn't exist yet. And that's what I need to do. I need to find... Maybe I look at TV. Maybe that's what I'll do, is maybe I'll look at some of these episodic things for how to do... Because I've actually learned a lot from screenwriting and Film Courage, the YouTube channel Film Courage. I love the interviews they do on that. Oh, yeah. Very cool. Check it out. I'll put links down at the bottom if I remember. Yeah, check out Film Courage. And, you know, on that note, I like the rhythm and the beating and the story beats of film and TV. It's probably just because I grew up in the medium, right? You know, with Saturday morning cartoons, which is so sad that those don't exist anymore, but that's a whole different blog post thing. Having kids and watching them not watch Saturday morning cartoons. Anyway, TV might help me out of this problem. TV's the answer for everything. Anyway, that's the video. I got to go figure out how to make endings work. It's not the fact that I can't plot a book. It's not the fact that all these things. I'm stuck at both of these books at like the 80%, 75 to 90%, depending on how you want to break that down. I just don't have that final resolution in both books. And it's not like I don't have it plotted out. I understand what should happen. I can't execute it because I am roadblocking myself mentally. And I got to figure out how a way around that. TV is the way around that. We'll find out. All right, folks. If you like this video, like it with the thumbs up button. Subscribe so that way, we can figure out what's going on. Figure out how many of you are actually out there watching, right? Yeah, folks. You guys go enjoy this sunny day. And I will try to figure out how to write endings. Get over my hang-ups. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Smash the buttons. Subscribe. It's been great talking to you.